coming here. I'm going to bring up the next speaker. I met her at the Four Seasons. This is crazy. I met her at the Four Seasons. I'm wearing a t-shirt and these shorts underneath that you really couldn't see and whatnot. And I'm walking to the bathroom and I see her sitting there with a group of people, and they're her and her friends are looking at me, and I'm just like, okay. And I go to the bathroom and I come back. When I come back, she stops me and she goes, I have to tell you that you have the most amazing body that I've ever seen. And I'm like, thank you. And I stopped and I sat and talked to her. And then I gave her, my information. We exchanged stuff. And then from there, we developed a relationship. And I didn't know what she did. She didn't know what I did. And from there, we've already helped each other in just the minimal amount of time that we got to know each other. And literally, I just had a call with her a couple nights ago about the event, but it went to something else. When I got off the phone with her, I was so thankful and blessed for the relationship that I have with her, because I got off the phone with her and I was like, man, thank goodness for friends, thank goodness for relationships, thank goodness for the people that pour into you when you're empty. When you feel like you don't know where to go, when you feel like you've given up, when you feel doubtful or whatever. So that's the point of this event, to be honest. And the more that we evolve throughout the day, it's making it more intentional. So without further ado, personal coach and my friend, Tongela Clark.
Oh my God, this room is full of miracles. First of all, I just want to I told him today that I renamed him. I gave him a new name. I want to thank Dr. E. Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up for, I don't want to call her Dr. B, but when I met her, I said, that girl got a body. Let's give it up for Bernadette as well. First of all, I want to thank y'all for showing up on today, because there's so many things in life will stop you from showing up. And just because you showed up today, there's going to be something that happened great in your life. How many of you wear a lot of hats? So I'm going to work y'all today. I want you to stand up if you think at times you wear too many hats. The same person wearing multiple hats. Come on, stand up. Whoever it is that feel like they wear too many hats. Okay, you can sit down. I wanted everybody to see that you're not alone, wearing multiple hats. So what I'm going to talk about today, this is something that I help a lot of people in sports and entertainment with, because many people are called, there's a lot of things that you're called to do. There's a lot of things that you can do, and some of the wrong things get on your calendar. How many of you feel that way sometimes? So I used to have a hair salon, a day spa. And I did that for 18 years, though. And when I kept doing that, I came to a place where I felt like that it no longer served me, that it was no longer my assignment. So it's many people in this room that you're doing things that you know your season is over with or it has expired. Anybody in there feel like that way? Anybody want to begin to start walking into the place where you know that it's where you're called to do? And this is the way I live my life. Only what I am called to do gets on my calendar. Now, I'm just telling you, and I live like this. So when people call me and ask me to do certain things that I'm not called to do, I don't let it get on my calendar because it no longer serves me or it's not going to serve me. So if you have your phones, I have a download I want you to grab, and so we're going to go through it. It's real simple. And what I'm going to share with you about today, it's not nothing new. It's only going to be a confirmation. I'm going to give you a few moments to get it. It's only going to be confirmation. So Dr. E, I like what you said today because you were all in my notes. On the other side of obstacles is opportunity. So whenever you face obstacles, you have to learn to greet them with grace, because on the other side of your obstacles is going to be an opportunity. So this is what happened. So about 15 years ago, I was trying to run a day spa and making a transition over into real estate full time. And I remember saying one day, I was like, man, I can't do both of these things. Now, I can do them, but I was no longer called to do it. And I remember one day I was walking down the hallway of the high rise going to my garage, and I remember hearing a voice say, you can choose to be good or you can choose to be great. You got a choice. And if you continue to do things that you can do and not what you're called to do, you will never walk in greatness. Greatness only resides in the place where your purpose is, where you have peace, and where you're productive. And guess what? Purpose plus peace equals prosperity. Because when you get to that place where you know you really got that peace, this is why I am here, and I know that this is my assignment, the peace comes. Because a lot of times people won't make moves. You know why? Because they're concerned about the money. But when you get to that place and you say, I know this is what I'm called to do, am I telling the truth, the dose? You remember when you were at the Post Oak Hotel doing all types of things. I remember. But you had a vision. You said, I can do some of these things, but I'm called to do something greater. Because you were building something. And that's like everybody in here. Everybody in here, you're building something. But you have to make a decision that I no longer want to keep filling up my calendar with things that I can do. I want to focus on what I'm called to do. So how many people have identified already some things that you are doing that no longer serves you? How many of you know of? I want you to stand up. If it's some things in your life that you are doing that is no longer serving you, because if you just take one thing, thank you very much, if you just take one thing off your list, if you remove one thing off your calendar that no longer serves you, and you start walking and still filling your calendar up with things of purpose, your life will change. I'm telling you, it works. The next thing that I want to tell you, I want to leave with two stories. I'm going to give you one story. Whenever you keep filling your calendar up with other people's stuff, it hinders your greatness. I'm going to give you a family illustration. I have a family member that I've been helping for probably about 8 years. So you know that once you continue to help people that don't want to help themselves, it's called handicap. You're handicapping them. You're really no longer helping them, you're handicapping them. So what I decided to do is all that time that I was giving to someone that did not want to help themselves, I started start giving to myself. Start surveying your life and looking at areas that you can take things off your plate. Can I continue to help her financially? Yes, I can. But not teaching her how to fish is not helping her situation. And not teaching her, it's not that I'm not teaching her, but there are people in your life that sometimes that don't even want to help themselves. So you need to spend that time on focusing on what you are called to do. All that energy you're giving to someone else, give it to yourself. Give it to yourself. You owe that for you. There's a scripture that's in the Bible. It says, this woman tended to everybody else's vineyard and neglected her own. Don't be the person, don't be the man or the woman doing a lot of stuff that don't set you up for greatness. The only thing that I really wanted to come today is to tell you, remove the things you can do and focus on the things you're called to do. Because when you focus on those things, you shift positions from good to greatness. Thank you very much.